your takeaways from doing this quantum EFT workshop, you know, how it felt for you, and what you expected or what you didn't expect, or yeah, just how your experience of this workshop was. So anyone can speak. What was it like for you, Lisa? If I asked you, Lisa, because you've done this before, so what was it like for you to do this a second time?
I found it very enjoyable. It really consolidated and helped me to step more into my understandings about quantum and mining the Akash, because it's a kind of a term I've become familiar with probably only in the last 5 years. And I think what I got out of it the most is just trusting my intuition, trusting my inner guidance, and that was a very positive experience for me this time around. So thank you, and it was lovely meeting everybody.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And Noelle, you've done this for a second time, so what's it like for you? If you unmute, Noelle.
Sorry, thanks for keeping reminding me on and off. Oh no, that's good. Yeah, I feel that I've felt so much more trust in the process and in myself to practice it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the way, Jenny, that the least unexpected things come up when you go back into this, you know, into this work. Like, you know, that little trigger that wasn't really a big trigger yesterday, but suddenly, like, I love the way that a source in your own unconscious, your own soul level gives you exactly what you need to process and release.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very beautiful. And I really enjoyed working with everyone and their commitment to be present with and supportive of each other as we worked. That was really lovely. And I always love your incredible overview, Jenny, and the way you just beautifully seem to come in just when you're needed in those groups. The synchronicity and serendipity of that is beautiful. Yeah, and I can see that yeah, it's so gorgeous. And I loved the way that you know, sometimes when you don't go to a past life, when a past life isn't coming up, but you're in the present, it's not that you're blocked. It's that this is what's coming up. This is what quantum tells us where to heal. And you can still use all of those phrases to help clear that. So if there's anything else sitting there, that's beautiful too.
Yeah, that quantum EFT is not just about past lives. It's about working in the quantumness of space and looking at what that means at a soul level. Yeah.
So it's lovely. And, you know I'm going to come back and do this again because I find it really, really deeply profound, actually. Yeah. And a great learning tool and a great way of bringing your own confidence level back up again when you're going there with others.
Yeah.
So thank you, everyone. And thank you, Jenny.
Thank you. Let's go to Karen. Karen, you're very new to EFT and haven't done clinical EFT before like everyone else, basically. So what was that like for you coming into it so fresh and new?
It was really fantastic. I feel like I'm still in awe and reverence about the process and how it can be whatever someone brings to the table, and you know, however that's met, I feel like such a deep, profound healing happens. So yeah, just this great level of respect for the process, and just my mind feels like my mind's blown by the power of that healing that comes from wherever it goes.
And I loved how you said at the start of the day that you didn't have any residue from the work that we did, and often in work that you'd done before you'd be paying for it for months afterwards with a reaction. And
I'm really really shocked about that. It's a really regular thing in my life. Even if I'm just slightly emotionally triggered, that there will be some form of maybe something stuck in my body or a sensation or a feeling. And even if I really try and work with that and meditate and use the tools I've got, I feel like it may take quite some time for that to shift. And, you know, we've touched on some big topics in this time, and I just feel energized, and that's rare too. I feel like there's you know, I may get home and there'll be a need to maybe hop into bed or shut down a bit, or so. Yeah, it's very, very different from anything I've experienced in that regard.
Great. Well, thanks for trusting the process and coming along, even though you didn't know that much about it. So well done. Leslie, our Aussie US person.
I appreciate you allowing me to be an honorary Aussie
Yes.
for a couple of days. I don't know what keeps drawing me to Australia, but something is. And we didn't even touch on it this weekend. But I've been looking forward to this because I know there's so much, you know, such deeper connections to everything that we struggle with. And I know some people kind of go, oh my goodness, there she goes again, you know, talking about past lives. But I think, you know, whether you believe it or not, there's definitely some effect to the work that we're doing here and that we learned this weekend. And I love the transformation that I see in everybody's faces right now, including my own, and how I feel after the breakthrough that I had this weekend. Only ensures my confidence in helping other people be able to go through what we've all kind of touched on this weekend for ourselves. And thank you for your patience, Ava.
Thank you, Leslie.
Maybe we'll connect up again and I'll be able to give you a true session. But
that'd be lovely.
No, you've all been great. So
Yeah,
Eva, do you want to speak about, thanks Leslie, do you want to speak about your experience of the workshop?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, Jenny, and yeah, it was a profound experience for me. And it's really interesting because I've always feared exploring my psychic abilities, and I was quite surprised how easy it came to me. And I feel like I can now step into that a lot more, whereas in the past I've had a fear in terms of exploring that side of me. But I feel like I've just trusting in myself and the process a lot more, and it's definitely something that I want to explore a bit more as well. So thank you, it was lovely.
Great. And let's go to Deanne. So Deanne, you didn't particularly believe in past lives, however, have had some quite detailed past life experiences. And you're on mute.
Well, I don't know if the past life experience, but there's certainly experiences that can't deny that I received.
Yeah.
So, and I do think it's all for learning. I do think that it's, I came into this and then I paid for it and I backed out, and then there was other things happening. So I said, oh yes, I'll do that. And but in the end, I thought, no, I felt that I needed to do it. And it was a valuable experience. I've loved meeting up with everybody. I love when I do these workshops, meeting new people and meeting people, and hope that we can stay connected, because that community to me is important. And I certainly have learned a lot. It's the tools that we use in quantum EFT, I've seen you use in a clinical sense, and flip between the two. And so I know that that's a possible way of doing things. But as someone, maybe Karen said, that having these tools, that we can use them to help others. And that's my main purpose. But I've got a lot out of it personally, for me, personally. And the messages I felt were quite profound. As Noelle said, it's been quite profound. I've loved hearing everybody else's experiences. I've really, really loved that, and what they've experienced and how they've been able to get messages or learning from that. So I've found that really a blessing, because you see other people receive inspiration, guidance, whatever you like to call it. And as Karen said, you don't walk away from here feeling negative or you know, in any way burdened. And so to me, that tells me that there's value in that, and it's worth pursuing, and it's worth using for other people, because you're uplifted.
Yes.
There's no other way to say that. You're uplifted and you feel invigorated and renewed, and think, oh yes, I can see how I can use this. And yeah,
and especially after some of the deep and profound work that you've done, that all of you have been through and triggered very emotionally, etc. Often in clinical EFT or in other methods, you'd be feeling very drained and very exhausted and having been put through the ringer, but whereas none of you are feeling that.
I felt that before lunch, and I felt like saying, I don't want to go back. I felt really not stressed, but overwhelmed. And but the afternoon session, I think, has just lifted that. I'm feeling it's lifted. It's lifted, and I see, you know, wow, this is so valuable.
Excellent. Thank you for trusting yourself. And Sarah.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody too, as I said, and thank you, Jenny, for your inspiration and your absolute master at this. I love it.
Pleasure. Thank you. And Sarah, what was it like for you?
I think also for me, it's been a lot about personal growth, and I've gotten a whole lot out of it personally, which I think is going to be really, you know, I feel like there's been a clearance, and now it's like, okay, I'm ready for the future. You know, I'm sort of set to get on my way. I came into this with a curious mind and being open to it, and I think, you know, I'm still open to it, and I'm, you know, it's going to take me a bit of time just to mull things over and see, okay, because I'm not really that interested in past lives. You know, I'm sort of much more interested in the here and now and helping people in the current life. But I see benefits in, you know, the elements of the, you know, that past and the, you know, the DNA that really interests me. So,
and that's quantum EFT isn't just about past lives. And so there's so much more to it than that. It's about looking at what's going on at a soul level. Where did this originate from? And calling on guides and higher self to help you release it, etc. So yeah, thank you all of you for your contribution, your connection, your community, and your willingness to be vulnerable and put yourself fully into this. So thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Hopefully
Thank
we'll
you.
all
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.